Shiva in his gay mood was wearing it as a loincloth tiger skin. Probably Lord must have suffered from cervical spondylosis. He had a beautiful big snake tied around his neck with a nice hood on. In his hand there was a damru, awakening the whole world. And his tufted hair, everything. And while doing the last makeup, he just snatched the crescent moon and put it on his forehead, like a sadhu putting a chandan paste on his forehead. And because he was in a very jubilant mood, he started dancing. And while he was dancing, he stood like this and found out that his moon had started perspiring. So he did like this. And a few drops of his sweat and his tears, because sweat went into his moon was on the forehead, a crescent moon. It went that soured the bitter, salty taste of his eyes experienced, and tears also started. They fell down at Amarkantak. They say in the folk songs of the tribals that the river started, Narmada started from his sweat. So Narmada in a way is considered holier than Ganges in India. They say in their language, if you take a plunge in Ganges, your all sins are absolved. But if you watch Narmada like this, you see it, your all sins are absolved.
The people here, of course, are determined to fight it out, and they are all opposing the dam.
There is no problem that this dam will be delayed. We will be completing this ahead of the schedule.
Maybe we could have broken the dam itself, since we don't believe in that approach, and we feel that if this monument really remains where it is, as we have always been saying since '88.
It will be completed, because I tell you that this state has a tremendous entrepreneurial capacity.
C'est pas raisonnable. C'est pas raisonnable. On connaît très bien les résultats des barrages qu'on a déjà construits en Inde. On en a construit 1500. Ils ont tous été des désastres sociaux, écologiques et économiques également.
You either harness that water or you let it go to waste. And you can find alternative sources of energy. I do not know of any alternative source for water.
You can get sufficient energy, including solar energy or some other. You see, then you see, they no need to make this risky sort of the plant.
So Government of India is definitely gaining experiences. We never say that our minds are closed. We are always open. Whatever new idea comes, we do consider it, and whatever portion is acceptable, we accept, and whatever is not acceptable, we say sorry.
This protest of the tribals against this, it was a silent protest. First it was a word, then it became a chorus of words. Now it has like a swollen river of words against such development all over the world. I'm completing 78, but I would say with confidence, not with pride. I don't boast that I am carrying the youngest head on my worn out shoulders. And I have defined heart. Heart is where the hurt is. You know, my heart is operated. So I had that hurt, that right of a tribal, right to life of a tribal is in danger. So I gave a priority and came here and never went back.
Ces gens-là que vous voyez autour de vous sont des fils de la nature. Je veux dire, dans un état encore un peu plus primitif, dans la forêt, dans les villages nombreux où vivent les aborigènes, 1000 langues, peut-être 60 millions de personnes qui sont des gens ab origine, c'est du latin de l'origine, les premiers qui étaient ici présents. Ce sont des survivants, ce sont nos maîtres dans la survivance. Nous, fils de la technologie occidentale, nous avons appris à balbutier quelques rudiments de science. Eux sont là depuis des millénaires, et depuis des millénaires, ils ont survécu aux cataclysmes, ils ont survécu aux caprices ou aux grandes colères de la nature. Nous avons question harmonie, loi universelle, place de l'homme dans l'univers. Nous avons beaucoup à apprendre d'eux. Toute cette narmada est un lieu hautement fréquenté par les populations qui se sont succédées en Inde, qui ont fait l'histoire, la préhistoire, l'histoire de l'Inde. Et ce qui va être submergé avec la mise en eau des barrages, si ça se fait jamais, c'est aussi 30 sites archéologiques. C'est une infinité de temples, de lieux religieux. Et la Narmada elle-même est le lieu d'un pèlerinage. Les gens sans nourriture, les gens qui ont fait vœu de pauvreté, font le voyage de la Narmada de la source jusqu'à l'embouchure. Ce voyage doit durer 2 ans, 2 mois et 2 jours. Imaginez alors dans l'esprit des Indiens qui ont cet attachement sacralisé avec une nature où tout est en place par une volonté supérieure et où l'homme ne peut exercer tous les talents de son existence que dans une obéissance aux lois profondes qui régissent toute vie sur l'univers. Imaginez ce que sont ces gens-là. Ce sont des gens bénis qui vivent au bord de la Narmada. La plupart de ceux-ci, si leur village est submergé, seront poussés devant eux comme le bétail, devant la route qui s'ouvrira devant eux, comme le bétail d'un nomade. Ils iront végéter misérablement dans les villes. On leur donnera un peu d'argent, et le peu d'argent qu'on leur donnera au lieu de terre sera immédiatement dévoré par une foule de vautours à face humaine qui viendront leur offrir des biens dont ils n'auront pas besoin. La seule chose dont ils ont besoin, c'est de leur identité, de leur attachement à une culture et de leur fidélité à leur propre existence sur place.
Tribals in this world, not in my country alone, they are getting alienated from the mainstream. I say now, I will live in Anandavan because leprosy in Anandavan, leprosy in this world is perfectly curable. Most feebly communicable disease, not hereditary, anybody can look after it. But this mental leprosy, this psychological anesthesia, man doesn't feel anything.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
क्यों ऐसा हुआ? देखने नहीं, देखना पड़ता है.
Nobody calls Anandavan a leprosy home. Our patients baptize it as Anandavan, forest of bliss and joy. I say to the people, Anandavan is our poem in action. They understood the meaning of the motto, charity destroys, work builds, work has built them. You see, I was born in December 1914 in a well-to-do family, so-called high-caste family, which I hated most now. Because Fellowship of Pain has no caste, creed, religion. I had no choice. I wanted to become a medical man. My father thought that as a lawyer I'll be earning more money. While going, I found out a living corpse by the side of the gutter. He had no eyes left, no nasal bridge, no stumps left. He needed your help. You covered. You ran away. And after 6 months, in one moment I realized, suppose my loving wife with her dimpled cheek and a beautiful wife suffers from leprosy. And if I contact such fear about her, because I was very small, suppose my boy, for no fault of his, contacts leprosy, Baba, you will run away. If man can see with these eyes beauty in Acropolis, beauty in Taj Mahal, beauty in Ajanta, Ellora, in the ruins of stone and marble, why these very eyes, instead of seeing beauty in leprosy, in the dimpled cheek of a child suffering from leprosy, why eternal repulsion? In my life, I wanted to crucify this question. When I got the answer that this fear itself is main cause about this prejudice, I wanted to take to leprosy work. Look at it, life is an accident. I am a product of accident. Came in this world because of the blind biological collision of the sperm with ovum. And my parents said, Baba, Amta is born. So this accident in my life, which enriched my life,
before my visit there, I heard some stories, but then actually I was on the spot. I really, amazed the situation, and also it gave me the great hope. I was told previously, what called barren land. Then, with his wisdom and energy, that land become now some productive and happy human community. And those people there, mainly the people who have leprosy or something. Usually, people people look down these things. They themselves have a feeling of helplessness, that kind of thing. In some street, these people, they are just, they completely demoralized. But they are, the same people, with such, they full of life, self-confidence, self-dignity. And then they have the desire for work or for development. So there, I find some kind of full of life. And then I personally, when I met him, and he lay down on his bed, and then he looks, his physical a little bit, they're weak. But once he starts to talk, they're full of energy.
We sat together and I said to the participation, had there been no Anandavan, you all would have become Tulsirams. You would have lost your stumps of fingers. You could not have shown where it aches, where it hurts. They learned the craft, trade, everything now. In short, their hands became more eloquent than their lips. And the moment they became the good workers, agricultural workers, seed farms, hybridization of seed, they learned the whole technique. They became the most wanted men in the society. But because in time Anandavan rendered service to you, now these are the sectors in the wing waiting for our help. We have better days now. So we amended the constitution of our foundation. We started with blind boys. So we started school for the blind, healthy blind, school for deaf and mute. Because I knew their plight more. I was getting all India reputed singers, but they were sitting like this with vacant looks. Though present on the stage of life, they were totally absent in the world. Same case with polios and physically handicapped. So I said, let us convert Anandavan as a fellowship of pain, right from the womb to the tomb. So Baba, if this is the background with which he has come here, he's not against only Sardar Sarovar. A workshop was held at Anandavan, assertion of collective will against big dams. I don't know whether we may lose this battle. It's a brave battle. But ultimately, I'm so sure that we will win the war. There won't be any big dams in the world. Mega dams will be foolishly conceived by the people.
So far, we have completed 30% of the main dam works. Our riverbed powerhouse civil works has been completed up to 95% excavations. We will be getting machineries from the Japan and it will be installed. And we will be able to generate power by say September 95 or so. So far, canal head powerhouse is concerned, we have completed about 80% of the work. Our dam will be ready by December 93. And we will be able to generate power whenever we are importing water up to 95 level, that is in September 95.
The way the government is looking at the Narmada basin today, the whole Narmada valley, is to build these big dams and convert the whole valley into a series of lakes. And they feel that this is the only way that the water can be utilized. We are trying to go in for a completely alternative set of water management, with the small check dams and percolation tanks and land water management at the field level. And we are going to bring out a completely different, comprehensive plan of the whole basin.
You see, people talk of small is beautiful. We have looked into the world history also. There is no country in the world of the size of India which could ever afford to go in for all small schemes. It is never. Even in China, it is not there. They are going for now a project of 3 gorges, which will be the biggest project in the world. Now again, we are not doing only the big projects. We are doing small, medium, large, mega projects. All is a blend of the things. Now, this Narmada basin planning has been done. We have 32 large projects, of which 4 are mega projects, 135 medium projects, and there are more than 3,000, probably it may be much more, small projects. So all are being attempted simultaneously. You see, fund cannot be there just to start the whole thing together. Nobody will, ask for that one also. So it is being done. And, I don't know, say I give a very common example. When you take rice, some grains of rice do fall from the dish. It doesn't mean that we will stop eating rice.
We have found help from a lot of groups in some of the developed countries, some of the developing countries. We have found support from groups in Germany, in France, in Japan, in USA, who have basically looked at this not just as an environmental problem, but as a problem of what's happening to the human beings.
You see, all those who are criticizing dams should understand that for this part of the country, if they look to the whole state, the whole water, whether the rain water, whether the underground water, or whether the river surface water, is all situated in a small triangle in a lower part of Gujarat, which is just near Bombay. The rest of the whole state is without water. And there is no alternative. We have been exploring the alternative, whether there can be any alternative to such a large project. And after a long, long trial, the state came to a conclusion that if we want to supply drinking water to 2 million people who otherwise would be converted into the desert, there is no other alternative.
When we have realized that the benefits are not going to reach the drought-prone areas like Kutch and Saurashtra, who are really going to get minuscule of water. Kutch would get 1.6% of its cultivable land irrigated, and Saurashtra only 9.24% of its cultivable land irrigated. When there is 15 million acre-feet of water flowing as surface flow every year, which is unutilized, and only 1% of that would resolve the drinking water problem of those villages, for whom alternative schemes are parallelly being declared. Because this project is really meant for the sugar factories and the sugarcane growers and the industrial complexes. As Chiman Bhai just said in a face-to-face debate on 25th September, which we had in Delhi, 40,000 crores worth industrial investment is really awaiting. That's the group of people, small handful of people for whom the dam is being built. It's not the voice of the common people in Gujarat.
Told them that it is for the first time in this country a irrigation project has been taken as a multidisciplinary project. Formerly, when we were making such large project, we were never caring for the rehabilitation. And it is because of the constant pressure of the World Bank and the NGOs who are criticizing abroad that for the first time in this country, a man who is going to be displaced is going to get 2 hectares of land in his lifetime in the command area where the waters of a river are going to flow in the form of irrigation. If tomorrow the World Bank gets out of it, all over the country, all other states will tell us that you made so many studies, you took care of the outstays, you made studies for the environmental aspects. What did you get? Ultimately, World Bank went out of it. It is better to follow our old system than to this modified system of the modern technological world.
En Inde, il y a une étude par un certain Fernandez, n'est-ce pas, qui vient probablement de Goa, qui démontre qu'en Inde, 20 millions de personnes ont été déplacées par les grands projets de développement depuis la guerre, dont 14 millions par les grands barrages. 14 millions de personnes chassées de leurs terres, n'est-ce pas, et dont la majorité sont condamnées à vivre dans les bidonvilles, dans une vie d'une sordidité incroyable. Dans le cas du Narmada, il y a 150 000 personnes à reloger, peut-être même plus. Et on sait très bien qu'il n'y a pas de terre, parce que ce n'est pas possible de les reloger. Il n'y a pas les terres adéquates, ils n'existent pas. Donc ces gens sont condamnés.
The Moss mission has said that resettlement is possible, but rehabilitation, that the people will take roots in the new environment, that is not likely to be possible. Now, they have not given us any reasons. We have villages where people have been staying for last 8-10 years, and we have no reasons to believe that they're unhappy or that they're not able to cope in the new environment. We are taking all care to see that their culture and their way of life is preserved in the new places. We have got special architects to design the new villages, keeping in mind the tribal way of living. We have tried to preserve their ties with their old tribal areas and see that marriage or going to the markets, these facilities are still available to them.
हमेरा सब घर माल सामान इधर में गवर्नमेंट के ट्रक में करके इधर में हम काटिंग की दिया है। वो हमको रहने के पतरा का टीन शेड दिया है। जहाँ સુધી हमेरा मकान नहीं बनेगा जहाँ સુધી हम पतरा का टीन शेड में रह के वो 2-3 साल खेत में माल पका के वो उधर में पका के हमेरा रीत में हम मकान बनाएंगे वो गवर्नमेंट का टीन से आप सौंप देना है। पहले हमेरा बाप दादे के तो वो कम था, इधर में हम सब कुटुंब के 5 एकड़ जमीन दिया है।
भैलाल भाई पटेल 5 पंचों जवाब लेवा आया था। एक घड़ी हमें जवाब में ना पाड़ी थी, हूँ ना पाड़ी थी कि सरकार श्री 3200 रुपया हमने 1 एकड़ ना आपा नक्की कर पी हमने छूटा करवाना था। એટલે 4 પંચોના જવાબમાં ખુશી થયા। 5મા પંચમાં અમે વિરોધ કર્યો અને આમ રેકોર્ડ કરી ગયા કે 5મા પંચનો જવાબ એમ અમે આપ્યો કે સરકારશ્રી અમને અમારી જન્મભૂમિ દેશના માટે ભોગ આપે છે અને અમને નાણાં આપીને સરકાર છૂટી કરવા માંગે છે। બીજા નંબરે અમે જ્યાં ત્યાં ખરીદવા માંગીએ છીએ તે જમીન અમને સારી મળે નહીં ને પૈસાની અમને જમીન છૂટે નહીં। માટે જો સરકારશ્રી બદલામાં જમીન આપે તો હું ખુશી, ત્યાં સુધી હું ખુશી નહીં। સાફ શબ્દમાં અમે ના પાડી હતી। એટલે આ રેકોર્ડ ધારાસભામાં જાહેર કર્યો હતો અને સરકારે વિચાર્યું કે ભાઈ આ પંચને સોંપો, પંચ જે નિર્ણય લાવે તે કરો।
Now it took some time for the government to understand this position, but finally the government said yes, even those who are encroaching on forest land, even those who are landless, even those who are shepherds and dependent on the forest, they should get land.
There was not a blade of grass here. Our trees are also planted because there were very, very few birds here. Birds had no trees to sit, no twigs to sit. So now we have variety of birds here, variety of vegetables.
I wanted altogether different life from the common man. That is why I plunged into the sea and automatically I tried to swim. I became expert in swimming in life ocean, not in Narmada. I can't swim. Our life is very adventurous life with tigers, cobras, hundreds of scorpions. That was my adventure. I never asked
Here
Baba.
there are no beasts except her husband, who is very wild.
I am peaceful by nature. Baba is impatient. I have patience.
She is the life breath of my work.
नहीं बनेगा, कोई नहीं हटेगा, बाहर नहीं बनेगा। सरोवर क्या करेगा? सबका सत्यानाश करेगा। सरोवर क्या करेगा? सबका सत्यानाश करेगा।
कुछ नहीं है, ये सब फालतू की नौटंकी है, नाटक कर रहे नाटक।
नहीं कहते हो आंदोलनकारियों को हमने दबा दिया, सारे पैसे मारने का लोग कोई कारण नहीं रखते तुम। चिमन भाई पटेल
Myself and my wife, we go for a walk and watch the first ray of dawn. In the evening, we watch the last goal of the evening. And in the daytime, the tribals, the villagers, people come for different purposes and we pass up. We work with our garden also. If you read the story of civilization anywhere in any part of the world, all civilizations start from the embankment of the river. Look at the life of Kasaravat without buffalo sitting here, cows and goats going, ladies washing their clothes, men taking their bath. This is all cuckoos singing on the banks, then ground squirrels moving and eating the prasad, it's a very romantic and interesting life as far as cultural life is concerned.
कोई नहीं हटेगा, कोई नहीं हटेगा। कसरावत में पुल, कसरावत में पुल।
I believe in peace, but the peace that is aggressive peace.
Like Berlin Wall, Sardar Sarovar, even though it is constructed, will not be filled with water, because people have decided, taken the pledge, that they would rather drown themselves rather than leave their houses and their farms. So Sardar Sarovar can become a museum piece for the art collectors of the world to purchase those bits and bits like this. That is how honestly. एक है। नमस्कार, बैठिए। ये सरदार सरोवर के आंदोलन में आपने क्या क्या किया है यहाँ इस गांव में?
वो यहाँ इंडिया का विरोध करते रहे।
हाँ।
और सरदार सरोवर का विरोध करते हैं। जो कसरावत में पुल बन रहा है, गेमन इंडिया ने जो ठेका लड़ रहा है। 30 अगस्त 1901 को जो अपने कसरावत में गेमन इंडिया में धरना देने गए थे, घाटी के पूरे लोग शांतिपूर्वक धरना देने के लिए गए थे। वो पुलिस ने मार ठोक की है, लाठीचार्ज किया है। मुझे भी सिर में मारा था, 3 टाके आए थे। और भी लोगों को चोटें हैं, 2-3 लोगों को।
मरांगा पर हमने हमारा गांव नहीं छोड़ा, गांव छोड़ा नहीं, हमारी खेती छोड़ा नहीं। कितना दुखत, अपना बूढ़ा आड़े बसी गया, सब खेती बाड़ी बनी। और हम इतना गांव का लोग कहाँ जाओ? हमको जमीन नहीं लेना है, कोई मुआवजा भी नहीं लेना है।
और तालाब में पानी भरा तो
मर जाएंगे डूबी में।
डूबी मर जाएंगे।
हाँ, नहीं छोड़े।
सरदार सरोवर बन जाए उससे हमसे कोई वो नहीं है, क्योंकि हमने तो जो फैसला कर रखा है डूबेंगे, पर हमारी ज़मीन और हमारी प्रकृति और जितना भी पर्यावरण देश के अंदर जो डूब रहा है उसको बचाने के लिए हम भले ही जल समाधि लेंगे मगर हटेंगे नहीं।
माननीय अधिवक्ता जो कि पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशंस पर ही हरदम लड़ते आ रहे हैं, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ, अन्य बातों के खिलाफ, वो गिरीश भाई पटेल रखेंगे। लेकिन उनका कहना जो है वो हमने ठोस रूप से हमारे अर्थशास्त्रज्ञों को लेकर साबित करके जो दिखाया है वह सरकारी कागजातों में भी है।
कभी कहता है आदिवासी, first it was a voice, then it became a chorus of voices. Now it has become a swollen river of voices rising up.
कोई नहीं हटेगा, कोई नहीं हटेगा, नाश करेगा। तेहरी बांध क्या करेगा? सबका सत्यानाश करेगा। विकास के ही नाम पर बांध का ये खेल है, सोच लो और जान लो लाभ हानि कितनी है। सोच लो और जान लो लाभ हानि कितनी है। सिंचाई की भी भूल है, दल दल तो होनी है।
सावधान, विनाशकारी सरदार सरोवर धारणास मणिवेल्याच्या गावाच्या संपूर्ण विरोध आहे। धारणा संबंधित कुठलेही कामकाज आमच्या गावात करू दिले जाणार नाही। शासन, धारण संबंधित कर्मचारी, पोलीस, सरकारी समिती दलाल याना गावात प्रवेश बंदी आहे. आमच्या गावातील जंगल जमीन पाणी देवे दाणी आहेत व आमच्या संपत्तीचे रक्षण करू. हमारा गांव माँ हमारा राज, हम नहीं हटेंगे, बांध नहीं बनने देंगे.
बोरेंगे वो पाणी नळ आलं इल्लू हमारे तो आ बाजू दे पाणी અને જંગલ में हमारे जंगल है हमारा ये तो जंगल में हमारा कोई भी चीज बद्दी मली आवे
हमारे आदिवासी जीवन का माटे जंगल है एमें हमारा वरसाद ना आवे ने मेघराजा ना आवे ते वक्त अमने कांदा मोवरा खाए अमे जीवन गुजारे. મફત મળે જંગલમાં એટલે એને ખાવાથી અનાજ ના મળે, દકાર પડી જાય, કોઈ જગ્યાએ પાણી ના મળે તે વખત અમારા એ જંગલ એ અમારો બાપ તરીકે એટલે એના અમે મફત લાવીને અમે આજા હોય કે કાંદા હોય કે ગમે તે જંગલનું લાવીને અમે ખાઈએ તો જીવન ગુજારીએ. એવી રીતે આદિવાસીનો અમાર અને કંઈ ઘર બનાવવા માટે એ પણ અમારો જંગલ એ અમે જે રીતે બાપ આલે ને છોકરાને જઈથી ત્યાંથી લાવીને દુકાનમાંથી એવી રીતે અમે જંગલમાંથી લાવીને આ ઘર બનાવીએ. નર્મદા હે અમારી માં હે એટલે એનું અમે 24 કલાક અમે એમને પાણી એનું દૂધ પીએ એટલે નાનાથી મોટા થયા 24 કલાકમાં અમે દૂધ પીએ એને અમે માં તરીકે માનીએ ને અમે સવારમાં નાવા ધોવા જઈએ પછી એમની પૂજા કરીએ. કંઈ સોમવાર હે કંઈ ગુરુવાર હે એવી હારી તિથિ ઉપર અમે એને પૂજા કરીએ એને માં તરીકે માનતા અમે. કેમ કે અમારે એ જલમાં એ પાણીથી જલેમાં અમે નર્મદા માં હે એટલે એ અમે હવે બચ્ચા કહેવાય એટલે એ પાણીથી અમે જીવન ગુજારીએ.
मेरा नाम गंगाराम है, मैं छोटा बड़दा का हूँ और ये कार्यालय है मणिवेली का. यहाँ पर हमेशा हम रहते हैं आंदोलन के लिए और डैम हम नहीं बनने देंगे. पुलिस ने कई बार हमको आकर पीटा. जब भी हम पुलिस ले गई हमको जेल में से वापस आ गए और बंद भी हुए हम जेल में और वापस आकर यहाँ रह रहे हैं. पुलिस हमें बार बार तंग आके करती है, रात में आए दिन में आती है और हजार पुलिस आती है. और जितने भी यहाँ के केवड़ा कॉलोनी में इंजीनियर आए हैं ये सब जेब अपने अपने भरने के लिए ये डैम बना रही है सरकार और कोई इससे विकास नहीं होने का है आज तक कभी. और बहुत से डैम बने हैं सब अधूरे रहे हैं, ये भी अधूरा रह जाएगा, ये भी पूरा नहीं सरकार से होगा. इनको भले ही वो ये इनके पास पैसा नहीं हो तो ये तो उधार ला के बनाते हैं. ये
ગુરુવારે નર્મદા યોજનાને વિશ્વ બેંકની સહાય આડે ગંભીર સમસ્યાઓ. સરદાર સરોવર યોજના અંગેની પુનર્વસવાટ કામગીરી બાબતમાં વિશ્વ બેંક કાનૂન વિભાગના વડા શ્રી ઇવાન ન્યુપોર્ટે દ્વારા વિશ્વ બેંકના બોર્ડે મોકલી અપાયેલો અભિપ્રાય આ યોજના માટે વિશ્વ બેંકની નાણાકીય સહાય પર મીટ માંડી બેઠેલા સત્તાધારીઓ માટે નિરાશાજનક ઠરે તેવું સંકેતો સાંપડે છે.
અને પછી એમને કીધું કે અમે ઉપરવાળાને હજુ સોમાવલમાં 2.5 એકર જમીન આપીશ. તેના ઉપર થોડા મુખડીવાળા અને ડનેલવાળા જઈ પણ આવ્યા સોમાવલમાં. અને તે પછી સોમાવલમાં થઈ ગયું કે એ લોકોને પછી એ બી સ્ટાફમાં બેહાડીને બતાવી જમીન. તો પછી જંગલ તો ઊભું જ હતું અને કંઈ જમીન કાપેલી નહીં હતી, કાટી નહીં ને કશું નહીં. અને પછી આવતા વખત ફરીથી સોમાવલવાળાને ગાડી રોકાઈ દીધી અને પછી કોની જમીન લેવા આવેલા? અમારી બેનને અહીંયા મરી ગયેલી છે, મેં તમારી બહેનો પણ મારી નાખીશ ત્યારે તમે શાંત કરો.
I'm a social rebel. People call me social activist. Namaskar, namaskar.
In a way that is,
अरे हमको पीछे आँख नहीं है.
because I am a perpetual rebel. I cannot tolerate man carrying masks in this world. After combing the country, I found out that mask itself has become the man. Because I hated this, I say my words must walk in the company of good deeds. That's enough. I am not guru. I am a man with many pores, and I want to die like that. Because I never aspired to be a guru or a great man. I always aspired to be a good man. And my coming here on the banks of Narmada is a penance, not for seeing God. I said I came here in search of man. Baba Amta is a man in search of man, not in search of God. Because the minerals and the geological blessings are there in the tribal belt in the forest. They are exploited up till now. When I went there, an old lady near Jamshedpur, only wrinkled. She said, look at my history. I'm an old lady. This is my cottage. They had given us some money as a compensation when they took our land. I said, what do you do now? Baba, in my youthful days, I did only one trade. I said, what was the trade? My flesh trade. I'm a prostitute, Baba. And I became old at the age of 30. And at the age of 30, when I went to you, went to him, they refused to engage me even as a maid servant. This plight I heard, and then I decided that my tribal's right to life is itself in danger. Their plight is much more worse than the plight of the leprosy patient who walked all alone in the world right from the birth of the planet. Particularly, I say in a tribal language, just as a tribal bride or a tribal mother beautifies herself, she has not even a lion cloth. Madia girl, coming from primitive tribes. She covers her breast and everything which is with necklaces, with other things. Some cover with their hands with ivory bangles. Some have their kamar patta. Some have their anklets covered with ornaments. After doing that, because tribal lady doesn't know the art of embroidery or weaving, she weaves her own skin. And that weaving, while weaving her own skin, beautiful designs of tattooing on her face, on her breast, on her chest, everything she does it. This is how a tribal bride or a mother is beautified. See, in similar manner, we can beautify the rivers also of the world. She'll have right to free flow. By staying here, I did not talk to them. They only wish me that I should be alive in my bed, like a corpse in a coffin. That is the only hope for them. I don't know why they should believe it. I know I'm a dying man. But if that is the role of my life, I'm so happy that even in this old age, my body carrying so many affluent scars, so many disabilities, so many other things, not having any mobility, they still feel that this man will do something. Because he's sitting here, something will happen. That mighty confidence, not faith, mighty confidence is imbibed in them. And I feel it's a laudable purpose which is fulfilled by my gracefully yielding old life.
Baba Amte, with all apology, he is a very great man. I have got the highest regard for him because of his service to the lepers. I don't think he has any experience for any such projects. We consider that the poverty of the people are the real enemies of the environment. You see, to a hungry man, philosophy says, even if there be God, God should come in the form of a bread.
I have no disagreement if you say that don't go in for ostentatious consumerism and waste, because that can't go on endlessly and can produce ill effects on society and on communities. But equally, you cannot have a situation where you go back to how grandfather lived and how comfortably grandfather lived, when now for every one grandfather you have 100. Populations have doubled, and by the time this dam is constructed and is fully operational, will have doubled again. And therefore we live in a dynamic society and not where population was governed by Malthus. War, famine and disease. What some of our friends are unthinkingly saying is leave it to famine and disease to control population.
We don't think the expenditure would be a waste. It would really teach us a lesson about the wrongs that we have done in pushing this development policy and the Western models of development on our population. So we don't care for these kinds of consumerist benefits. What we care is for the people's involvement and sustainable development that would not destroy the cultures of the valley, destroying anthropological and archaeological monuments and whatnot.
Il faut abandonner l'idée de développer le tiers-monde. N'est-ce pas? C'est pas concevable. C'est absolument pas concevable. Il faut même abandonner l'idée de continuer à développer le monde occidental dans lequel nous vivons. Le seul scénario possible, c'est un monde où les gens vivent dans les villages et les petites villes et où les activités économiques ont lieu à un niveau beaucoup plus petit, n'est-ce pas? Et où on produit pour un marché très restreint, pas le marché global d'aujourd'hui.
Now, you see, the things reach a such stage, the Mother Earth now giving us, this is some kind of the red warning. So if you see the whole planet, you see some big dramatic change, you see the climate, for example, you see climate or some other thing, you see then the entire human population will suffer and will disappear eventually. So therefore, it is our own interest, you see, to take care about our planet. This is our only home. We have no other alternative.
La disparition de notre espèce est maintenant possible. Dans les quelques décennies à venir, les 40-50 ans à venir, c'est possible. Certains pourraient même dire que c'est probable. Maintenant, il y a toujours des possibilités, on peut changer de direction. Il faut qu'on réduise d'une façon dramatique l'impact de nos activités sur l'environnement. Dramatique. La question à se poser, c'est est-ce que nous en sommes capables?
They build a dam, but at what cost? What type of development? At the cost of human life. This is not the way of development. And imagine in the world, when such tragedies are going on a massive scale, people are busy with their personal comedies. How can there be peace in the world? Forget about Sardar Sarovar, forget about my tribals. All over the world, when such mammoth tragedies are going on, people are engrossed in their personal comedies. They enjoy life like this. They have become too materialistic. Unless they change their values, unless they change their lifestyle, such dams will be always uprooting the poor, they will be causing them harm. So this struggle is not only for saving the tribals which are going to be submerged under Mother Narmada. It's a struggle for all over the world to prompt the conscience of the world. In this world, when you feel that you're all alone and you'll not be able to fight the organized violence of the whole world against you, it's not a suicidal impulse which guides men who run after social justice. It's a maximum hope surrendered, sacrifice secluded, which stirs their powers. For this noble cause, I want to offer this perishing body for this Mother Narmada. When we fail, government will drown us, we will die. And when I die, I know birds and beasts and bacteria will indulge in a grand feast over my dead body. Even some bones will be left. A grazier going back on the banks of Narmada will find a long bone cleaned by the vultures and the birds. And he will say, oh, I will have a nice flute. And he will prepare a flute. Again, some holes in that bone. And he will sing a song of Narmada. The song which is being heard by the world for untold centuries because she is flowing for that. At times I feel that even my deafening sound of my silence will be carried by every ripple of Narmada to the distant nook and corner of the world. Because I ultimately decided to lie down on the banks of Narmada in her bosom so that I inhaled the fragrance of my clean bones, which are consumed by beast bacteria having big fist. This fragrant dust is very tempting to me now. I'll be very happy if this music lingers on the lips of Narmada by my drowning.